There are commonly known two types of mountain bike riders. The one want to be as fast as possible, and the others want to have a relaxed ride. However, both want to ride as efficiently as possible. And to do that, we'll check today rolling resistance of tires and what the pressure does. For that, we're going to get sciencey. Let's roll the intro. Well, I don't need them yet. Basically, we're going to check three different pressures. Around 2.5 bar, around 2 bar, and 1.5 bar of tire pressure. Of course, these are not tire pressures I usually run. I go way more into detail. This is just for comparison. I ride 3 climbs and 3 descents. One on tarmac, one on a smooth gravel road, and the last one on a real trail. Of course, downhill without a chain, uphill I'll need a chain. Full disclaimer, this might not work for your bike. It fits my riding style, my weight, my bike, my tires. If you have different tires, different rims, then that's going to change quite a lot. This is just so you have a basic idea where you can start playing with the pressure. Now let's look at the data then, shall we? Starting off with the first uphill, we had around 1 minute and 24 seconds with 34 psi or 2.34 bar. 29 psi, we had 1 minute 23 seconds, and 24 psi or 1.6 bar, we had 1 minute and 21 seconds. On the downhill, I didn't measure the time, I actually measured the distance. So I just started at the same point and let myself roll without pedaling, without a chain. And with 34 psi, we started at, let's say, 0.0. 29 psi, 5.5 meters further, and 24 psi, 5 meters further, which actually just a small distance, and I mean that could be an error. However, as we moved on to the trail, downhill, we had with our 34 psi time 54.3 seconds. 39 psi, we had about 50.7 seconds. 24 psi, 49.1. Uphill looked kind of the same, 2 minutes 34 with 34, 29, 2 minutes and 16 seconds, 24 psi, 2 minutes and 9 seconds. As you can see, it actually was right now faster with the lowest pressure possible, although the rolling resistance on the downhill showed us another way. So it's therefore 24 psi just a faster pressure. We moved on to tarmac to actually look at this, and who would have thought? Uphill 24 psi, now the other way around, 25.9 seconds, 29 psi with 24.8 seconds, and 34 psi 22.7 seconds. Rolling resistance once again with 24 psi starting with 0, 29 psi I rode 25 meters further, and 34 psi I rode 39 meters further. So what's my conclusion then? Well, since I ride more gnarlier trails most of the time, I'll actually drop my pressure. I'm probably going to use like 26, 27 maybe in the rear and 24 in the front. Maybe I just go in the rear a bit lower, depending on my trails. If I'm planning on riding streets and stairs, I don't know where this idea comes from, maybe next week, I'll increase my pressure, of course. However, remember that works with my rims, I ride tubeless with my tires, with my weight. If you're heavier, you have to pump them up harder. If you're lighter or have wider tires, you can actually drop a couple of psi. On my Canyon I have wider tires, wider rims, and there I even ride now less, with 23 in the front and 25 in the rear. Since we're in the winter anyway, you could actually drop a couple psi anyway, like maybe 22 in the front. Just be sure that you don't get any punctures. However, this is it for today. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and till next time.